Alright, flight buzz, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucker responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about water. Now, when we want to talk about water, now it's a concept to water that everybody, you know what I'm saying, get along with, and how it connects the collective conscious. But you know, my channel is more about where water come from. So you know what I'm saying, when we get into certain things about what water do here and the attributes and things of that nature, let's actually talk about what's actually going on. Now, we already know, watching my channel, we know that any type of forms of representations that you see externally is just representations of something that was internal first. So any forms of water that you actually can see, touch, feel, or whatever like that is just a scientific or logical reference to, or the physical aspect of what you're actually seeing that came from the inner world, right? This is why a lot of times when, all right, before we even get there, let's just talk about frequency, vibration, and energy. Now, if you know anything about my channel, you know about the whole world revolves around this concept. So when you got the frequency, which is your space, your room and opportunity, the space within the space, your ideas, your spirit, right? It's like your spirit travel like a light. You know what I'm saying? So it travels like the speed of light. So you always flying. So when you have an idea, right, it's just a straight line. So with that straight line, you give it direction, high, low, left, right, or wherever you want to bring it into, right? And that creates, it's just a line, so it creates a line of events. So that idea have a line of events that travel it. Now, the more emotions and feelings, aka your vibration, your soul, the energy that you put into that idea, you're going to start to experience these lines of events. That's why the frequency is first, and what comes second, right? Time, seconds. Seconds is based on time. So that came second. Time, motion, movement, vibration. You know what I'm saying? And that's where movement and motion come from. So that's fluid. So water is a fluid, but it's a part of fluid. But fluid is a higher frequency of water. If you could see water, or you know what I'm saying, touch it or something like that, that's a lower, it's vibrating at a rate close to your frequency megahertz. You see what I'm saying? Because you're able to see it physically. Now you can see through it and it's clear and it's all of that, but that's another story. But that's a whole nother video. But when we want to talk about the basic concept of water in general, now when you want to say it comes from fluid, right? And because everything in your body is like fluid, like this is what you're able to have movement. So your ideas, your frequency, your spirit, right? It creates a line of events. Say for an example, your ideas that you have is like depressing ideas. So your spirit, you shot it, the direction you shot it was maybe at a down direction. So now once you start to more you put emotions and feelings into these ideas, you're going to start to experience those lines of events. And then when it goes down, a lot of times it may play out as a representation of, you may cry, you know what I'm saying? A fluid may come out of you, or you may have done something that attack you physically to the point that fluids come out of your body and things of that nature. And that's just when you have a lot of frequencies or your spirit, and you aim it at a low place or this, that, and the third. But I'm just giving you a form of representation of how movement or fluid or experience come out in general before you even see the energy or the matter and the end of actual water, because we know frequency is the line. It's frequency, vibration, and energy. It's frequency, that's the spirit, the idea, the line of events. The vibration will come second. It's the time and experience within something. And then the more time and experience something have, if we want to call it water, you know, if it's the more water in a bucket, the heavier the bucket gonna be. And if the bucket is heavy, what's gonna happen? It goes down. It's heavy. Or if you put it somewhere or whatever, the heavier something is, the more dense it's gonna be. The more going down it's gonna go. So when you experience something, you bring it down to vibrate at the megahertz that you're at, right, to make it physical, and that's the energy. So if something matters, so your frequency is the line of events. What comes second is your time and experience, which is your soul, your vibration, and then the more and more you get into that, you're able to, if it matters to you, it come out of the matter in the etheric realm and able to vibrate at a frequency megahertz that you're able to make it solid or make it physical or make it outside of you, make it external through a person, place, or thing. So you know what I'm saying? This is like the motherfucking concept. So when we want to talk about movement and in general, we know water comes from fluid. So it comes from vibration. So this is why everything is even able to have movement or able to have an illusion and an experience. That's all like fluid, just in higher frequencies. But in a low frequency, you see it as water or things of that nature. Now, when we want to talk about water in general, Now, we know water is attached to the soul, the emotions, the feelings, the vibration, the illusions of this realm of reality. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime you take your ideas, your frequencies, and mix it with an experience or feelings and emotions, these two together is what's going to create the illusion, the realm of reality of how you bring your inner world into the external world, right? So if you're seeing a bunch of shit in the external world, right, here's a lot of issues that people may fall short on, because they may take a lot of external things and think and take these things and put them in their internal world, thinking that they need to take these external things that may be ran by another intellectual being, a portal or realm of reality, right? And they may take these things inner. Then you're going to use your power anyway. Humans already have the power of making their inner world externally, right? You're going to take something else externally, put it in your inner world, and then create that same thing externally. Then all you're doing is adding on to another intellectual being or another concept, and you're not actually adding on to your own spiritual inclination. You're adding on to another being, and adding more power to that orb. You see what I'm saying? So that's another main misconception. So you have to be smart, play the game, and know how to use certain realms of realities and portals to get in and get out, since we are in the collective conscious. But we want to talk about the water in general. Now, forms of, beverages and things of that nature, it's still fluid, it's still filled with water, but they're contaminated, or they unalkalined, or you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of carbon hydrates in it, and things of that nature. So it's polluted. It's like polluted water, right? So if we know water is tied to the vibration of emotions and feelings, then we know how certain, I don't want to say government, but we know how certain intellectual beings and things of that nature can dilute you and pollute the water, or pollute you in general. And you think that, oh, they polluting the water with fluoride. You think that's what it is. But no, actually beverages in general is like pollution. Let's look at it like this. Say clear water. Say clear water. That's a person with clear emotions, clear feelings, right? Clear thoughts. But that's why you got so many people in the world today who don't like to drink just water. Who probably don't even like to drink water. They want to drink some juice or whatever like that. But look at these people's lives. But they don't understand it that way. You see what I'm saying? Their lives may be polluted. You know what I'm saying? Their emotions and feelings may be polluted. It's always contaminated. It's never clear. They never had no clear emotions and feelings on things. It's always something pondering over their soul, over their movement, over their experience, over their illusions, over their manifestations in this realm of reality. So you see what I'm saying? So it'll play out naturally, like a person who don't like to, and then you'll come across a conscious person who'll be like, no, I only drink water, I only drink alkaline water, right? And then what I'm saying is, it's not a right or wrong, but this person who only drink water talk down on a person who only drink alcohol or beverages or something like that, and to make it seem like that just by them drinking water is what's the actual thing. But nah, that ain't even what the fuck it is. That's not even what it is.
Who got our dad's lighter? Do you got our dad's lighter?
Now for the most part, when you want to talk about I lost my point for a second. Yeah, okay, but when we want to talk about fluid vibration of water, now it just so happened that when a person talk down on a person who may not drink straight water and things of that nature, they make it seem like that's the sole reason that this person, now you can drink whatever you want to drink, whatever helped you out spiritually, that's what you need to do. But here's what that person is missing the point that they did. They may have went into a conscious realm themselves that took them into a whole bunch of other places, and it just started to show as a representation of them coming to the decision that they only want to drink water. So they need to stop arguing the fact that your body not right because you're not drinking water, and start realizing that their spiritual path is what led them to only drink water, because they may have been on a spiritual path that they was needing to clear their emotions and feelings constantly. And a lot of people who grow up very harshly, and they grow up and feel the need to make themselves a part of something, or they feel like they need to be a part of something, a lot of times that's be these people. That's why you got a lot of Hebrew Israelites, or a lot of people who want to join organizations. That's why you have a lot of Moors. A lot of times these people is not really consumed under the theologies of these aspects. They just want to be a part of something. And if they see whatever they're a part of can have some type of positive effect on their life, then that's as much as they need to even indulge into that. But we need to understand the actual concepts of what's actually going on. It's not actually at the you drinking water and this person drinking a bunch of carbons. It's just your spiritual path led you to do that than this person. Now, you may have a lot of people here who have a lot of cloudy emotions and feelings and things of that nature and pollutions and stuff like that. And like, or me, like I like to clear my emotions and feelings, but I still like to drink, you know, beverages from time to time. I mean, I can't really do too many of them, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to just drink water all the straight time. But for the most part, you might come across that, and this is how they are able to attack you, through the colors, through the shit that they put into it, you know what I'm saying, and all other kind of shit. That's why you feel certain ways. This is why you may like a certain pop or juice more than someone else may like a pop or juice. They may like a different kind of pop or juice or whatever like that, because same way with your emotions and feelings and your fluid and your soul. Your emotional stance on things may be different than another person's emotional stance on things. So the color and makeup of your emotions is way different than another person's makeup. What hurt you may not hurt someone else. What put you in pain may not put somebody else in pain. So it trickled down into what you drink, somebody else may not drink. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you pay close attention to your emotions and feelings and pay close attention about things that you drink, you'll be able to you could kind of pinpoint where your soul at the moment. You see what I'm saying? Because your soul is attached to what came second, which is time, experience, the vibration. We know everything is frequency, vibration, and energy. You see what I'm saying? So just like me at an early part of my time, before I destroyed part of my stomach, I used to drink all the time. You know what I'm saying? Now, it might have been a lot of things hidden that a lot of people may have not known, but if a person was around me that was spiritually inclined enough, they would be able to dissect probably where my soul and spirit is at the moment, for me to come to that conclusion to intake that kind of fluid all the time. You know what I'm saying? Then once my soul got to a detriment and started drowning, it needed to make itself out. It caused a physical representation on me to be able to stop drinking so it could rebuild itself, because it wasn't my time. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times it takes its own course, and if you going down a path, if your spirit is led down a path and your soul start to experience it so much, and if it's a path that you're not really supposed to be in, it's going to start to wear and tear on your physical body. You know what I'm saying? And it be little shit that people don't know that their spirits is in. It could be even the job or a situation you involved in with others, or you know what I'm saying, a circumstance, a living condition, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If it's wearing and tearing on, it's going to wear and tear on your spirit and soul first. And then a lot of times your soul played a mediator between the flesh, your body, and the spirit, your ideas, your thoughts, your space. You know what I'm saying? Your frequency. So a lot of times it played a mediator. So a lot of times it don't know if it want to go too much towards the flesh or it don't want to go too much towards the spirit. If the soul go too much towards the spirit, you know what I'm saying, you may not be looked at as a person that's actually in reality a lot of times. If you go too much to the flesh, a lot of times you may be looked at as a person who's not metaphysical or spiritual at all. So it's about keeping a balance. But your soul a lot of times cater to that. So when you we know the energy come last. So if your body last, we know a lot of external things is going to entice the body, and if your soul wants to put energy into those things, then that's taking the side of the flesh, right? But then that's going within. Then when you go without, that's like taking the side of the spirit. You kind of disregard any external thing, and you just think what you would receive or want to receive externally or internally, and what you want to see internally, externally, right? And then that's going without. That's leaning your soul towards the spirit. So a lot of times your soul be confused, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just experiencing. It's receiving all these feelings and emotions, and it's experiencing. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to decipher your experience. And a lot of times you're going to get blinded by illusions of the light dealing with the flesh and the light that you see externally. And a lot of times you're going to get confused of your ideas that you feel like makes a lot of sense, but it just might not make sense in reality. That's going into the spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, that's your soul looking towards trying to pick the side more of the spirit, because then the spirit is going to be like, well, you know what you're doing ain't right, even though it may serve your flesh at the moment, but you know that whole circumstance that you in ain't right. So that's what your spirit is going to tell your soul, and your soul is just sitting there experiencing this shit. You see what I'm saying? So at the same time, that's your movement, that's your fluid, that's what's able for your spirit to even move in a realm of reality, illusion, or a globe, or realm. And we know realm, all these came second. The frequency is just the idea. The experience of them come second. That's why there's time. And it takes time to experience. And when you experience, it harbors on your emotions and feelings. And your emotions and feelings is detriment to your soul because that's how you experience. Like if you involved in something that you don't really want to experience, you're not really gonna remember nothing in it or anything like that because it didn't nothing attached to you to make you emotionally want to remember it. Memory. Water passing, time passing, all that is dealing with fluid. You know what I'm saying? Memory, time passes. That's like water passes. You know what I'm saying? Time passes. It's the same shit. It's the same motherfucking shit. So at the same time, you need to motherfucking understand that it's these realms of realities that you choose to shoot your frequency through. But you have to understand that's where fluid comes from. Fluid comes from motion, and the fluid signs is the mutable signs, which is Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. That's the mutable. So those are the fluid. You see what I'm saying? The cardinal is the spark. You know what I'm saying? The fix is the sturdiness, and the fluid is the mutable is the motherfucking fluid. You see what I'm saying? So you got the spark, you got the steadiness, and then you got the fluid. And that's how the motherfucking shit work. As far as if you cardinal, fixed, or mutable. You see what I'm saying? If you a cardinal, you're here to initiate. You're here to spark something. If you fixed, you're here to keep something up. You're here to ground it. You see what I'm saying? You keep it heated, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. If you mutable, you're here to motherfucking change something up. Or give something ideas for something to come. Give it movement. Let it be mobile. Let it be fluid. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air.